People in America are going broke to try to look rich, and a woman has to starve herself to survive. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance, put out by Benzinga, and written by Janine Mancini, titled, "Stop Acting Rich. You Don't Have Any Stinking Money." Dave Ramsey slams everyone living above their means to fit in, saying people are stupid. The author of this article referenced Dave Ramsey, who argued that many individuals who earn substantial incomes, such as $60,000, $90,000, or even $160,000 annually, still face financial instability. They are, as he puts it, broke and burdened with continuous payments and misplaced priorities. He likened this behavior to the Texas phrase, "Big hat, no cattle." Well, my friends, I agree with Dave Ramsey to a certain degree. I would never call someone stupid, though. Now, there are some people who want the big hat and don't have any cattle, but this is not everyone. There are some individuals who try to be financially responsible and live as frugally as possible. However, this type of person is getting more rare as time goes on, in my opinion. Some people with a mountain of debt still feel like they need the new leased BMW or Mercedes to portray a certain image, even though they can barely afford the payment and insurance. I spoke with a bank teller once who worked the drive-thru regularly. She said a lot of people that would pull through the lane in a fancy new luxury vehicle had very little money in their bank accounts. Some would even argue about overdraft fees. She told me a story about an older man who drove a beat-up truck who had $300,000 in his checking account. Now, it's beyond me why he would want over the FDIC insurance limit, and it's beyond me why he would want to give up all that interest he could be earning in a CD, money market account, or with U.S. Treasuries. Still, it shows you that some people with money don't need to flaunt it. The people who try very hard often don't have any money and have a mountain of debt. I'm going to share with you the most interesting quote from this article. Dave Ramsey said, "If people aren't making fun of you, you're probably not on track, because people are stupid, people are broke." In my opinion, some of the people who make fun of you may be hating on you because they know you are doing what they can't, because they lack the self-control. As Americans, we constantly receive marketing messages on television, social media, or from billboards that we drive past. Consumerism is pushed heavily in our society. Some people believe they will be happier if they get some new plastic junk. That hit of dopamine is short-lived. That plastic junk ends up in the basement, the garage, the closet, or the attic. I'm always disgusted when I drive by some homes that have so much junk in the garage that there is no possible way they can park a car in there. I'm sure some of you have driven by homes like this. Imagine if that person didn't buy all that junk. If you added up the retail price paid for all of that junk, the total would be staggering. Now imagine if that money had been invested in assets that provide a financial return. Some of those people could probably be living in a much nicer home with all of the money that would have been made. Small sums of money spent can really add up over time. I read some of the comments beneath this article. One of the commenters said, "I remember when I hit a $1 million plus portfolio and was still driving a 17-year-old Saturn SL2. I'd think, wow, I'm driving the cheapest car in the parking lot, but doing fine. I'd wonder, how many of those driving those large SUVs and pickups are struggling?" The next commenter said, "Anyone that says life is to be enjoyed really means I want to spend now and I'll worry about the future later and become a burden on society, the government, and children because I deserve my hedonistic lifestyle now." My wife and I have been very conservative and laughed at for not taking exorbitant vacations, leasing new cars, no cable TV, we cook our own meals, little things. I'm 70 and she's 65. We have enough in the bank and from Social Security to live on $300,000 a year forever, unless interest rates go below 1%. We have no debt and people no longer laugh, but they do say mean things like, "Well, you were lucky." They don't realize that time is linear and they don't get a do-over. I hope they like the pictures from their cruise 30 years ago and have fond recollections of that leased Mercedes from 20 years ago. And I hope they still love their aged designer clothes and purses while they wait in line at the Medicaid doctor's office while cuddling their beanie babies. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, think of having a lot of money saved as security. You are less likely to lose your house if you lose your job. After you have saved a certain amount of money, you can put that money to work for you. The return that you will get from that will be enough for you to retire early if you don't like your job. This last comment really resonated with me. I've always been more interested in financial independence than the acquisition of stuff to impress other people. When you have financial independence, you see the world a lot differently. When you can write a check for any house or car that you want, you have less of an interest in lusting after those type of things. There is a certain level of peace when you know you don't need to work and you will still get wealthier year after year. There is also a level of peace when you know that you can weather various types of storm clouds in your life if and when they come because of your financial position. There is also a certain level of peace when you know you can pay for expensive medical procedures that may not be covered by insurance. I knew someone many years ago who needed a certain type of cancer treatment that was in the six-figure range. This person tried everything to put together the money. The parents of this individual even sold their home to raise cash. I told myself that I never wanted to be in that type of situation. I wanted to have the financial resources to handle a situation like that. That's one reason why I've always lived extremely below my means. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Some Americans are not trying to look rich by living large. They are trying to just survive. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance put out by MoneyWise and written by Sabina Wex, titled, "This Tampa Woman Says She Has to Starve Herself Just to Survive in the U.S. Why She's Not Alone." The author of this article referenced a female server in Florida who made $65,000 this past year, but after spending $18,000 on rent, $7,000 for her car payments, and additional money on food and insurance, she apparently was struggling to make ends meet. She said, and I'll quote, "I have never thought about death, but how do you expletives survive here?" She went on to say, "In order to live in the United States, I literally just have to starve myself in order to expletive survive." Well, my friends, I hate to hear about this woman's struggles. It is great that she is working hard and doing her best to survive during this period of high inflation. She didn't say this, but I'm guessing her wages have not kept pace with inflation. This is the case for a lot of Americans, and many are not seeing any relief on the horizon. One thing this woman didn't mention was retirement. I am guessing she is not allocating money from each paycheck to dollar cost average into investments. Because she didn't mention it as a big expense, I suspect this could be the case. From my perspective, this is really problematic. If she ever wants to stand a chance of getting out of the rat race, she may need to find a way to set money aside for retirement. I don't think she's alone though. There are a lot of Americans who can't even begin to think about saving for retirement. They are doing their best just to survive day to day. Some can't even do that without relying on credit cards and buy now, pay later loans. That's the reality here in America for some individuals. The commenters beneath this article were pretty brutal because they felt as though $65,000 is more than adequate to live on. One commenter said, "Rename the article, I make good money, but I am the worst money manager on earth." In my opinion, we don't know all of the details about this person's situation. I, for one, don't want to cast judgment. Another commenter said, "Many people would love to have that. She needs to do something to make it work." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, $1,500 for an apartment, get a roommate. Well, my friends, try finding an apartment for less than $1,500 in many large cities in America in 2024. You'll have a hard time finding one. I realize there are rentals for less than that in some areas, but you'll have a hard time finding an affordable apartment in many large cities. That's just reality in 2024. I agree with the commenter that she might be able to get a roommate. You have to be really careful with that though. If you get the wrong roommate, you might put your life, your personal property, your finances, or your sanity at risk. I'm sure some of you watching this video can relate to this one. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.